Hello everyone! In today's video I'm going to tell you a little something about how to manage sales department. So if you are a sales manager that is looking to maybe get some inspiration or level up your skill, if you are an entrepreneur that is either looking to build your own sales team that you currently do not have, or you would like to improve the performance of existing sales team, then stay with me because this video is about to get interesting. So today I'm going to tell you about 3 things that I'm using efficiently in my business for past couple of years that are working and are battle tested and are very important, at least in my opinion, to make sure that your sales team performance is on a top level. So the first thing that I really recommend to have, and you would be surprised how many businesses are not doing this at all, is to have regular meetings with your sales team. In my case, there are 2 meetings that I'm having weekly with my sales team. The first one is Monday morning, and Monday morning meeting is around 30 to 45 minutes long. And on this meeting, we are talking about the following things. The first thing that we are talking about on Monday meeting is what we were able to close last week. The goal for that is to, first of all, have a sense of what is going on, what happened in the last week, in the past week. Also to check what was done with a particular opportunity in the course of last week that we've been talking about a week ago. And also for me to update my forecasts and to update what we were able to do and make sure that this matches the financial system that we are having, the accounting system. Meaning, if we close the deal and we claim that we have closed the deal, we should have the invoice issued for the deposit or down payment for this business, because this is how we do things in one of my companies. And this is also important for salespeople to get a better idea about what their performance is like, and also, at least in my opinion, helps them stay motivated because they see what is going on. And last but not least, they also feel sort of a level of competition because all of the people are reporting on the same particular meeting. The second thing that we are talking about during this meeting is what are we about to close this week? So what kind of opportunities we expect to close? And the goal for that is to, again, update my forecasts. And second of all, to get to the bottom of things and to understand if we can do something to either speed things up, to, improve the communication, or to understand what we are missing in a particular opportunity. An example, if someone is not picking up the phone from a salesperson constantly, we are making usually the choice to cross-check from the other salesperson, or for me, myself. So I'm sometimes calling the people that are not picking up the phone from the salesperson for some reason, because they have their number, but they do not have my number. So at least I'm able to get the fresh and up-to-date news from a particular client or potential client without just having high hopes that this is miraculously going to close this week. So identifying obstacles, that's first. And the second is to understand what are we going to expect this week from a sales forecast. During this meeting, every salesperson is broadcasting their CRM system, and we have filters that are, designed and made in order to make sure that we are showing and talking only about the opportunities that are important either for this or the previous week. At least this is how we run things in my business. And the second thing that I would like to tell you about in the context of managing your sales department is to have defined processes. I know it sounds like a cliche, but again, you wouldn't believe how many people are not having those processes written down and agreed upon, and therefore they have problems. Because of that, the communication problems often arise, and there is a discrepancy between what do we expect from a particular salesperson versus what do they know about how they should run things or what they should do in order to satisfy you and to work efficiently. And within those processes, you may define very different things. In my case, for example, is about what are the fields in the CRM system that are mandatory, how the note from a meeting should look like, What is the purpose of Miro board that we are using to identify the prospect's needs, and how this should be filled in order to make the proper discovery of a prospect's needs. Those are just examples, but keep in mind that your sales team should have no doubts whatsoever about how things are done. Because if they have doubts, and if there is a room for interpretation, you will have totally different notes, totally different questions asked, and so on and so forth. If you prepare your processes and if you write things down, you are minimizing the chance for the interpretation. And again, you are creating yourself a window for improvement. If your questions are good enough, maybe they can be better. If your processes are good enough, maybe they can be improved. If you observe and you have this in a structured way, you can make tweaks, adjustments, and improve gradually. The third thing that you should be aware of and you should remember about in your organization in order to maximize the efficiency of your sales team is the trainings and improvement. If you will build a culture of constant improvement, Kaizen or continuous improvement, however you want to name it, it will have a super beneficial effect on all of the people involved. People are motivated because they have freedom of choice. People are motivated because they are able to improve themselves, and they will be thankful for it. Trust me. One idea that you can implement in order to improve the culture of knowledge is to introduce books that are important for sales processes and encourage people to read them. A couple of examples include Spin Selling by Neil Rackham. Perfect, great book to improve your discovery process and to make sure that people will understand the correlation between what is the question that is being asked, what is the need of a customer, and how our solution or solutions fit into those problems and needs. Another great book that you can introduce in your sales department is Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. It includes the most essential and still up-to-date and important sales techniques and techniques of influence that you can use within your sales processes in order to just boost your chances of winning the deal. Trust me, salespeople are going to have so much fun with taking the input from the book and applying this into their day-to-day activities. But remember, you have to manage this properly. Another great book that you can recommend to your sales team is The Challenger Sale by Matthew Dixon and Brent Adamson. And this book highlights how sort of a different approaches to sales processes, I would say more bold approaches, can benefit your sales team and how different styles of selling can have different effects of the overall conversion. You'll find links to all of the books below this video. If you consider buying a bulk of them and just handing them over to your sales department and creating a calendar that will encourage your team members to read the books and share the insights with each other. To provide additional element of training to your salespeople, consider shadowing meetings. Meaning that if someone is talking with potential prospects or customers, maybe there is a senior colleague that could attend such a meeting and provide feedback to the person with less experience. Also, if you feel like you are the person of authority or a role model and you have great experience with selling your products or services, you could attend such meetings. You wouldn't believe how much you can draw from the feedback that is provided by a more experienced person. I have personally learned a lot through such feedback sessions, and I think I taught a lot to the salespeople that are working for me. But remember, you have to create an atmosphere and a level of understanding in everyone's mind so they won't feel threatened or judged by your feedback or their colleagues' feedback. You need to properly communicate that, and you need to make sure that everyone understands the goal behind the shadowing. Another thing that you can consider doing is to have internal workshops with a certain goal in mind. You can take one of the books that I've mentioned earlier and run a workshop that will be brainstorming about how to apply those concepts in practice within your sales processes. You could also create a dummy scenario of your potential client situation in which everyone will take a role of a client and a salesperson, and you will change the roles and provide feedback to each other. It works great, trust me. We are using this all the time. You could also take part of your product and try to apply certain rules or scenarios to it so your salespeople can have more hands-on experiences with talking about the products, matching customers' expectations with the features of the product, instead of just learning specifics by heart and recitate them on a sales call. So just to summarize, building an efficient sales team is a process. And in order to do this, you should implement a lot of the things that you will be disciplined about and that would benefit both you as a person and your sales team. Do not just expect people to hit targets by pushing and pushing and pushing without motivating them. You need to become a role model. You need to become a person of authority that they will follow, and they will feel that they can make mistakes in a safe way, but at the same time, they can learn from those mistakes. I cannot choose which one of the things that I've mentioned is the most important, but I can tell you one thing. If you will implement one of them and be consistent about it, maybe your sales will not skyrocket, but at least they will significantly improve. So if you would like to get more knowledge about sales processes and B2B sales in general, do subscribe to this channel. If you have any questions about the things that I've mentioned today, leave them in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer. I'll be more than happy to respond. Also like it and consider buying the books from the link to Amazon that we have provided below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day ahead.